Football season is over, and on behalf of everyone at WagerTalk, we want to say thank you for the continued trust you put in our team of handicappers. Our ongoing success relies on the loyalty and support of customers like you. As a way to say thanks, from February 8th through the 14th, we're running a Customer Appreciation Week, and all daily pick packages at WagerTalk.com will be discounted to $9. And yes, of course, that includes any 5% best bets, normally priced at $40. Once again, thank you for your business and trust in the WagerTalk family.
All right, guys, here we go. Can't believe it. February the 12th. It's hard to believe, actually. 2021, it is that time of year here with Pony Pundits. Means we've got ourselves another stakes race coming up here. We're trying to get to the Derby at some particular point here. The road to the Derby continues with the Risen Star Stakes, and nobody better to help you guys navigate and make it a profitable weekend than these two gentlemen here, Marco D'Angelo, and there he is, Sig in the house, who, there's a word here, Marco. He made a lot about you going away with all your winnings, but I'm hearing all this guy does is win now. At least there's all sorts of rumors going on. It's just pick fives, it's pick three. Apparently, Sig's he's just a profit machine lately.
He has been, and you know what? I think that, hanging out with me for the last few weeks, I'm rubbing off on him because you know what I'm doing in basketball, and, he took him under my wing, and, now he's got some wins. So, yeah, he's doing very well, and, hats off to him. But we're getting to the serious time. We got our first 50-point race this week, Joe, and this is when it gets serious. A win on Saturday in the Risen Star pretty much locks you up for the Kentucky Derby. So this is a big race coming up tomorrow.
No, it absolutely is, guys. And before we get started, too, just want to remind you guys, customer appreciation like you saw at WagerTalk.com. Marco, he just told you, right? He's just absolutely been crushing it across the board, $9 packages through the weekend. Sig also has his daily racing report each and every day by 9 a.m. Eastern time. Available for you guys for $9. Just visit both of their pages at WagerTalk.com. Interesting race here, Sig, coming up tomorrow at the Risen Star. Like Marco said, very important from the standpoint of these points. Probably whoever wins this race almost assures them, right, of being one step closer to the Derby.
Right, Joe. Most years, 40 points guarantees you a spot in the Derby. So a first place finish tomorrow in the Risen Star is good for 50 points on the Derby Trail, should lock you up a spot in the starting gate on the first Saturday in May. And I just wanted to say, Marco's been rubbing off on me, but I think the Las Vegas weather's been agreeing with me as I keep looking back at Pittsburgh. And I was here for the Super Bowl. I extended my trip out an extra week here, and just keep winning. So I had to stick around a little longer.
Marco has that effect. He just rubs off on a lot of it. That just doesn't sound right at all. All right, guys, let's see if we can't dive into this race. Now, it is a 13-horse field here, as you guys can see. Tomorrow it is race 13 here, the grade 2 at the fairgrounds. And we're just going to go and get a little bit of your thoughts, guys, on each one of these horses. We'll go down and Marco, should I start with you? Are you going to allow if I come to you first?
Yes, it's going to be me. I drew the odd number horses this week in the post parade, and we do have 2 scratches, Joe, in the race to let everybody know. The number 9 horse has been scratched, Defeater, and also number 12. Keep Me in Mind. Now, the 12 horse, that was an interesting scratch because they're opting to go for a different race in 2 weeks. So it's not an illness scratch. It's just a tactical decision. They want to go to a different race. But we'll start with number 1, and that is Starring in My Dreams. And this is a horse that he's got back-to-back wins, Joe, but he's making a big jump in class here. As both of those races, one was a maiden special weight, got the job done there easily, and then came back, had to battle when he faced winners for the first time, but he did get the win. So he's heading in the right direction, but he's going to need to move forward to get it done here. I don't think he has quite the speed figures to win this race, but I'm not saying that this is a horse that can't run on the bottom end of your trifecta and superfecta tickets. So, and with the post position down at the rail, he's going to have to use some tactical speed not to get buried at the rail. But Starring in My Dreams, I don't think is a major player for the win position.
May have a nice future, but maybe not the right horse at this particular time. That'll bring us to number 2, 8-1 morning line here. We're talking about Proxy, and the thing that stuck out to me here, Sig, was who's riding this horse in this race?
Yeah, John Velasquez is making the trip up from Gulfstream to New Orleans tomorrow. He's got a bunch of mounts on the card since he's going to be there for the day. But it does point out that he is willing to make the trip for this horse. And like Marco said, I think last week, these jocks are angling and looking to find their Kentucky Derby rides and their mounts. So this is his way of telling Godolphin and Michael Stidham that he'd be interested in riding this horse if he gets the Derby points. Like I said, this is a Godolphin homebred. It's out of Tapit. He's never missed the exacta in 4 career starts, including a runner-up finish here last month in the Lecomte at Fairgrounds. John Velasquez is making the trip to ride him, and he's had 2 good works since that last race. I will be using this colt underneath on my exotic tickets, but while he has performed in his career, I don't see him as a win contender on Saturday.
All right, that brings us to, I love this horse. I love the name. Beep, beep, number 3 here, Marco. The problem is he's no road runner. It's a big number, too, at 20-1. Talk to me about your thoughts on where this horse is. Could he be a player in the exotics? What do you think of number 3?
Well, I'll tell you what, he's not going to have to use his horn beep, beep, because he's going to be at the back of the pack and he's going to be finishing up the track. I don't see him in this race at all. Joe Talamo had ridden him in his first 2 mounts, and Joe bailed for another horse in this race. So that tells you what Joe thinks. I'm going to agree with Joe Talamo, and I'm bailing on him too. Beep, beep, bye-bye. I'm not using you.
Don't let it hit you on that. Never mind there. Number 4, horse number 4, Carrillo here, 15-1 morning line. Chad Brown, huh? Aqueduct early January, it looks like. What do you think of this horse heading into this race here? It's another tough spot here for this horse.
Well, Joe, for Carrillo has a really interesting story here. He's was owned and bred by owner Paul Pompa, who's known on the New York circuit. He actually was the original owner of Big Brown, who won the Derby and the Preakness back in, I believe, 2008. Pompa died suddenly at the age of 62 back in last October, and he had his horses with Chad Brown. Chad Brown had trained this horse, brought this horse up, and got him his debut win at Aqueduct back on January 8th. But as part of the estate sale, they sold off all the horses. This horse was actually purchased in the January Keeneland sale for $875,000, and the new owner switched the trainer to Tom Amos. Carrillo's worked twice for Amos so far, and they've both been good works. But it is going to be a huge jump for him to go from the maiden special weight right into a graded 2 stakes. In my opinion, this is Amos's way of finding out exactly what he has in this colt, and they're going to further his education. I give him an outside chance just because we don't know a whole lot about him, but I don't see him as a win contender here on Saturday.
All right, number 5 here, Marco. Senor Buscador, 2 for 2, and actually came from the clouds last time up in the Remington. Added distance, do you like it for this horse in this spot?
Yeah, I like this horse a lot, Joe. And, I tell guys, one of the best handicapping tools that you can use is race replays. Back in the day when all we had was the racing form, you had to read the lines and maybe some trip notes by some of the daily racing form guys. But now you can go back and watch for yourself. And I'm going to tell everybody, go watch both of this horse's first 2 races. This horse has a rocket up his butt when he makes his move from behind. It's just an incredible run that last race, and both of his races were that way. I think he's going to get an honest pace up front. He's one of only a few horses in this race that is already raced in a stake race. He was in a $200,000 stake race last time out when, as you said, he came from the clouds. He actually circled the field from last to first, and he did it all in the last turn and drew off. I think he's a major player in here, and I'll go one step further. They're opening up the Kentucky Derby pool again of the futures. Take a little flyer on this horse. If he runs big again on Saturday, you'll never see the odds again that he is in the current pool. He's a big number right now, worth a few dollars. Number 5, Senior Buscador. I'll have more to say about him a little later in the show, but this horse is legit.
Had a feeling that was coming. Absolutely. I have a feeling that horse is going to play in Marco's tickets. Let's look at number 6, Midnight Bourbon, 6-1 morning line. And call me crazy, but this horse, Sig, feels like he's going to go to the front, and it may be hard to catch him at some point if you're not careful.
Well, actually, that's exactly, Joe. That's what he did back in the Lecomte last month. Is he went to the lead, and never relinquished it, even though he was challenged the entire way. And if you guys follow me on Twitter, you'll remember that I did put out Mandaloon was less than even money in that race back in January. I suggested you guys bet on Midnight Bourbon. He did come in and win, I believe, 7-2 that day. So nice little return on that. Can he repeat here and do it again on the Louisiana Trail to the Kentucky Derby? I think he might have a good shot in here. He's been working pretty well, and he is going to attract a lot of attention at the windows. Like Marco said, we lost 2, including the morning line favorite, the scratches already, when Keepmeinmind decided to make stay at Oaklawn, and when they moved the Southwest from this coming Monday to next Saturday. So I think Midnight Bourbon will be one of your favorites on the morning line. You're not going to get the 6-1 that's listed on there. I guarantee you that. This will be the Colts' 4th graded stakes effort since he's already faced some of the best 3-year-olds in training right now. So he has shown the ability to race with the best they have out there right now, and I think he is definitely a win contender on Saturday.
All right, and listen here, guys, before we get to the number 7 horse in this race with Marco, I do want to remind you guys that Sig does have his $9 daily racing picks, and they are available for you by heading over to WagerTalk.com. And Marco is on a ridiculous, guys, when I tell you ridiculous 39-15 run over the last 3 weeks. And right now, as you can see there with those hot streaks at Marco's page at WagerTalk.com, 30 days, all access. You buy 30 days, you get an extra 30 days for free. That's 60 days, all access. Never miss one of these winners here, $349 right now at WagerTalk.com. And Marco, you have been on a roll, my friend, but I don't know that you're going to have this next horse here, number 7, 12-1 early line, Obesos. Distance, are you this going to be the first time with 2 turns? How confident are you in this horse?
Well, that's the big question. You've got 2 turns with this horse for the first time in his career. He has raced well. First, his debut start was not good, but then his next 2 starts were sensational. But here's the problem that concerns me with him. Regular jockey Brian Hernandez, he jumped off this horse. You got a horse that you rode in all 3 starts and back-to-back wins, and you're jumping ship. He's moving to one of the other horses in this race. That tells me he doesn't think this one has a shot in here. He's going to the other horse. I am going to bail with him as well. But if you do look at the speed figures, and Joe, we'll talk about this in the coming weeks, you want to see a horse who continues to increase his speed figures each race. 3 straight races, 3 improving speed figures. He's heading in the right direction, but this is a monumental jump in class and distance. We'll have to see what happens. I may throw him on the bottom end of an exotic just in case he runs 3rd or 4th in the try and super, but I don't see him anything better than that.
All right, well, interesting here. Let's talk about this number 8 horse, Sig, and look at that morning light. Is there 500? How many damn zeros is that? 50-1? My word. All right, talk to me here. Obviously 50-1 for a reason. Do you like him on any level?
Joe, Sermon on the Mount, the night horse here, is a reference to the Gospel of Matthew from the Bible. This colt's going to need divine intervention to have any shot against this field here. He's nowhere fast enough to compete against the field, and I would toss him, or if you'll find somebody that lets you bet who's going to finish last in this race, bet the 8.
I think we can do that. Marco, we can figure out a way to get that done there and get a ticket on dead last. I love that. All right, let's move on to the number 10. 9, of course, the feeder has been scratched. So let's go to number 10. Now, Marco, I didn't ask you. There's an odd horse here that was scratched. So do you want me to skip you and go to – you're the one on a ridiculous record.
Yeah, go to Sig, because then he's going to get scratched on an even horse later.
Okay, that's not a problem. We're doing it. Sig, listen, I don't know what you did right, but Marco's got you back here. Number 10, Santa Cruiser, 15-1. Also another, he was a horse that was really 8 to 10 lengths, I believe, behind Midnight Berman. The added distance here, do you think this will help this horse?
I think we lost the sound on Sig.
Oh, well, let me ask you, Marco, while you're on the screen. There you go.
He's back. He's back.
There you go, Sig.
I'm back.
Did you hear about number 10?
I have no, I didn't hear what you said about number 10 because I actually pulled the
That's damn Ralph Michaels. All right, let me. He was the horse that was 8 to 10 lengths behind Midnight Bourbon, but will the added distance in this race help him at all?
You know what? I think it may help him out here. The guy hit the in his first 3 races, finishing 3rd, 2nd, and finally breaking maiden on the 3rd attempt at Churchill. He did return, like you said, into Lecomte, and he did finish 4th. So actually, this guy's hit the superfecta in his first 4 races, finishing all 4 spots. He's got a ton of late run, and I think he could be a really nice price here in your deep exotic tickets. I would use him underneath in your trifecta on maybe the last spot and the last 2 spots on your superfecta ticket. But this 15-1 morning line, I see him going way higher than that on Saturday in the betting. So if he does hit those tickets, those exotic tickets, you are going to blow up and get some nice prices, even with some chalk up top.
All right, let's go to number 11 here, Marco. Mandolin, this is a 9-2. It starts out on the morning line. I believe they're adding blinkers here, if I'm not mistaken, in this race. You like this horse?
Yeah, and I think actually, I know Midnight Bourbon's going to get a lot of play, but I think Mandaloon's going to be the wise guy horse with a lot of people, and it's because of that last race. Now, you had 3 horses battle right to the wire in that last stakes race, and he was in that race with Proxy and Midnight Bourbon, and he had the toughest trip of the 3. He was wide the entire race. I think the move to the blinkers is they want to get this horse out of the gate better and get him in position, especially drawing the outside post, breaking from post 11 in this one. I like him. Brad Cox, what can you say about this trainer? He has been red hot all of last year, got things going again this year. Little slow start to start 2021, but he's picked it up in the last few weeks. I like this horse. He's got a major shot. He is one of my top 2 in this race. Look for Mandaloon with the blinkers to get the job done. And I'll also point out that in that race last time, when he was wide and Midnight Bourbon got the job done, they went some slow early fractions, and Midnight Bourbon was alone on the front end, which helped him. I think a little more of an honest pace here, and Mandaloon may be able to turn the table.
All right. Well, this would have been a good time there for you, Sig, to be able to pull out your earphones here, because number 12 is scratched, which means I got to go back to Marco here for number 13, right in just 15-1 morning line. A couple of wins here at the fairgrounds on the front end, but that 13 post position there, Marco, your thoughts?
Yeah, he's going to be up against it coming out of the 13 post position. He is a horse that in his 2 starts, he's only raced one way. Get me on the front end, let me go as long as I can, and nobody's been able to catch him. Now, the problem is, in this race, he's not going to be able to be alone on the front end. There is other speed in this race. There's also the fact that he's breaking from post 13. with the 2 scratches, it'll actually be post 11. But in his first 2 races, he broke from post position 2 and post position 5. A lot easier to get the job done. If he gets caught wide in that first turn, gives up some ground, or has to use too much to get to the lead, I don't see him having enough to finish. And if you look at his speed figures, it's not enough for him to get the job done. He would have to take a monumental step forward, I feel, to finish first or second in this race. So right and just, I don't think so. We'll find others in this one.
All right. Well, that means it is time, of course, to put it all together, figure out here the horses that you guys really, really like. Before we do that and run down their best plays for this race, just a quick reminder here right now, race days, $9. Go get the racing form from SIG, available 9 a.m. Eastern time on race days. Just head over to his page at WagerTalk.com. And Marco on a crazy 39-15 run over the last 3 weeks right now. And this ends Valentine's Day, guys, at midnight. So if you want to get in, get 60 days all access with Marco. Buy 30, get 30 days for free every play. Never miss one. $349 right now at Marco's page at WagerTalk.com. All right, Sig, I'm coming to you first because Marco kind of figured out a way to be able to keep just going and going there, just kind of left you in the dust. So I'm going to ask you, talk to us about your best bets here. Talk to us about the horses you like in this race.
Well, Joe, I landed on Mandaloun as my top choice in here, but I do think that this is the toughest Derby field, or basically Derby contender field, Derby on the Derby Trail, that we've seen so far to date this year. I think there's a lot of horses in here that have a good chance to win. I think Mandaloun's got the best shot, but I did use him with the 6 Midnight Bourbon, the 5 Senor Buscador, who you guys talked about. And like Marco said, go back and watch those races, guys. The horse broke last in both races. There was no need for the horse to feel like he needed to be rushed up or anything like that. And it seems like when Quinones hit a button, that horse just took off. So he had some very impressive races. And then the one horse, Starring in My Dreams, I think it's been off for 3 months here. Dallas Stewart's the trainer. He's also listed as part of the ownership on this horse. He's looked good from the start. And I think with these 3 months, I think if he developed any further, he could have a big shot in here as well. So I would actually box those 4 horses right there, 1, 5, 6, and 11. Play a couple horses or a couple tickets, with the 11 on top and those 3 under, and maybe a few of the others that we mentioned. But I think there's a good chance to make some money here at Fairgrounds on Saturday.
All right, there you got 1, 5, 6, 11 here, guys. Marco, interested to see how many of those horses might be the same, and more importantly, which ones are different on your card?
Well, I think it's a 2-horse race for win, and I was back and forth between the 5 and the 11, and I settled in on Senor Buscador. Again, watch those races. Incredible. Number 11, Mandaloun, I think you can't ignore the fact that they are putting the blinkers on, and if you go back and watch that race that he ran against Midnight Bourbon, you'll see what I'm talking about, being wide the entire race and still was digging at the wire. I put the 2 Proxy in third. This is a horse that did finish second in that stake race with Mandaloun and Midnight Bourbon. But I just think this is a major, major jump with jockey. You get Johnny V up. That is a huge improvement. No disrespect to the previous jockey, but he's not in John Velasquez's caliber as far as talent. And I think that's going to take this horse to the next level. And then the safest horse in this field, obviously, is Midnight Bourbon. And rumor has it, Joe, that you've occasionally had a few Midnight Bourbons down there in Hollandale Beach there, Gulfstream. Is that true?
I've had a few bourbons since noon today, okay? So I don't know what the hell you're talking about. You got to be kidding me. But it does feel like, Marco, it doesn't feel as chalky as maybe some of these races have been in the past. You think we could see some numbers here?
Oh, absolutely. I think it's a wide open race whenever you're looking at the basically the favorite right now, morning line, 9-2, 6-1. It's a wide open field. And then if you get a couple of those long shots we talked about run on the bottom of the ticket, nice payday. So I know Sig's going to have some tickets available tomorrow on this race. I am going to have my complete betting strategy. And, you know, a couple weeks ago, we nailed it. So let's see if we can do it again and hit a big trifecta and maybe some exactas.
That's why it's important, guys. Take advantage of right now. Head over to WagerTalk.com. Make it a profitable weekend here for this stakes race, an all-important race, obviously, for that road to the Kentucky Derby. And there's some opportunities here, as you heard them. Marco right now, don't forget, buy 30, get 30. 60 days, all access right now for $349. That's an unbelievable deal. That expires on Sunday. And like Marco said, Sig's going to have plenty of cards, opportunities for you guys to make it a profitable weekend at the track this tomorrow, Sunday, all race days by 9 a.m. Make sure you go get his cards there at WagerTalk.com. So that'll do it, guys. Risen Star Stakes. Let's make it a profitable weekend on behalf of Marco D'Angelo. Marco, thank you very much for picking the odd and kind of, you know, rigging this whole thing here. Sig, I'm so sorry you lost your hearing, but I'm glad that you were back. It was a pleasure there. Visit these guys and then come back and visit us again as we get ready for more stakes races, more races leading up to the Derby. So best of luck with your plays, guys. We'll talk to you again next week.
"2021 has been nothing short of spectacular for WagerTalk co-founder Marco D'Angelo. Marco is the #1 handicapper at WagerTalk in both money won at a 59% bankroll increase and winning percentage of 62.5%. Marco is on an insane run of 25-5 with his plays over the past weeks for 83% winners. Right now, Marco has a sweetheart of a deal for you. Buy a 30-day all-access package for the regular price of $349, and Marco will give you an additional 30 days of all access for free. To redeem this offer, just go to WagerTalk.com, choose Marco in the experts dropdown, and lock in 60 days of picks for the price of 30. This sweetheart deal ends at midnight on Valentine's Day.